Sorry about that. Had to answer the door for somebody. So to get back into it, 'cause I'm pretty sure you heard that knock on the door in the last video. Just have to answer the door for a family member. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm getting back into the topic of what makes a successful parent in 2019, sorry if it doesn't sound like I'm fully pronouncing the words. Sometimes I definitely try to always do it, but sometimes it just get bungled up and me trying to talk fast or me, just have a lot of things to say at one time or whatever the case is. But in my best opinion, ladies and gentlemen, ask yourself that. Where do you live at? How much do you put in your own child's education, your own child's medical bills, your own child, health, wealth, growth, and development? How much do you put into that each and every day of your life? I believe a big part of your child being successful and you being a successful parent in 2019, above and beyond, will be partially your finances. Can you fund the medicals? Can you fund the sports? Can you fund the fundraisers? Can you fund, whatever club they're in? Can you fund these extracurricular things, and these side jobs and hobbies? Can you help fund whatever they need to help them chase their passions, grow in their passions, or chase their dreams, grow in their passions, and develop their kind moral character? Those are the things that definitely factor into it. Another thing that I would definitely say factors into it is also, um, mental health. Mental health factors into a huge part, I believe, of what being a successful parent in 2019 has to do with. Again, a lot of people are like, Nate, who are you to say any of this? Guess what? Again, born again Christian, baptized June 22nd, 2018. Rapper, singer, songwriter. Read my lyrics, listen to my music, watch all these videos. Not just this one. Watch multiple videos from the last few weeks, months, maybe even years. That's how far you want to go in my catalog. Read my Twitter, read my Instagram, read whatever you need to read. Read the Bible, by the way. The number one thing you should do, read the Bible to an extent. Read the Bible. Now, I'm not saying everything in the Bible agrees with everything I'm saying, but I'm definitely saying to a huge extent, you got to start somewhere, and I'm starting somewhere with making this video. Because I'm telling you, I'm tired of people thinking that they're successful as parents because they're biased bigots who just want to get their way and want to throw their kids away because their kids, won't let them get their way. Because their kids want to hold them accountable. Because their kids want to tell them, hey, you might have this mental health issue. You might want to get this treatment. You might want to invest in this, invest in that. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta end it, gotta stop it somewhere, somehow. If you don't, you're never gonna be a successful parent. And yes, you could say these are according to my standards. You probably don't care about my standards, but guess what? Your life is gonna speak. Your actions, your life, your etc. is gonna speak for all, ladies and gentlemen. Like for example, when your kids turn 18, how often do they call you? And I don't mean for asking money. How often do they call you just to genuinely check up on you because they love you and want to make sure you're doing 100? That is part, I can tell you, of what makes up a successful parent. How often does your child want to spend time with you, call you up, and just want to interact with you, give back to you, help you out? Those are the things that make up a successful parent and or what makes up, in my case, having a good relationship with my faith. You know, but etc. You get the kind of point that I'm kind of get there a little bit. Now I'm definitely trying to explain to an extent. If you want to, cross paths towards my childhood and my life, again, I definitely can tell you didn't always grow up the best, didn't always grow up the worst is my motto for it. Like I said, my parents got divorced back in 2011, 12, 13, one of those years. Actually, I forgot what year it was. I think it was 2011, if I'm not mistaken. And I still, kept contact with both my parents. I was back and forth. It had its good, it had its bad. I can tell you, divorce is not a good thing, but depending on how you as the parent do your job towards, acclimating towards your kids and making sure God first, their needs are met and their wants are considered. You know, I'm telling you, you can be a successful parent even through a divorce. And a lot of parents do not know how to be successful, period. Whether it's divorce or a whole family, they don't know how to be successful because they got too much pride, too much ego, and too much bias in their mind. That's why I'm saying with all these mental health videos, ladies and gentlemen, you got to want to do better. You got to want to get out of your own head. You got to want to stop listening to Satan. You got to stop wanting to listen to biased bigots who keep you in your sin. You gotta stop. You gotta want to know who God is. You gotta want to know what God's plan is for you. If you don't do these things, you're never gonna be successful. Really, I think at anything you do in life, you're always going to be wishing and wondering what if, to an extent. If not, what if you're just going to lie to yourself buying a bunch of things you don't need, just so you can feel that gaping hole in your heart that you can't feel without Jesus, and etc. If you were to ask me, one of my biggest points here is that I think one of the biggest acts of being a successful parent in 2019 is emotional and mental health. You have to do that. You have to pay attention to emotional and mental health. If you don't, you're never gonna be successful. You can throw you can throw all the money you want at your kid, all the money you want your kid to do God first, whatever they want, whatever they need. You can throw all the money you want. But if your child does not feel like they are emotionally supported, your child will eventually lash out. It might not happen in the kid's earlier years of like in elementary school, but wait till that kid gets to, if not middle school, high school. Wait till that kid gets to high school, and you'll see them start lashing out, doing things, possibly even, well, you get the stories because I don't really have to spell them out for you. But just watch and see how your kid gets it. Well, actually, why not? Well, actually, I don't really want to, but try to figure out, should I? But actually, why not? You'll see your kid getting in trouble a lot. You'll see your kid, sneaking around having sex a lot. You'll see your kids drinking and smoking a lot. And I mean, all this behind your back, and you'll see them openly trashing you in front of whoever, for whatever reasons. And I don't mean trashing you to bring awareness. I mean, which is really much them telling the truth. I mean them trashing you just because, once again, they're spoiled, they're rotten, and they're entitled and privileged. That's what I mean. Because I can God first, rest assured you, with me in my life, I just like to hold people accountable, because struggling to God first, whatever, and anything, all the time. A lot of people frown upon me for doing that, but I halfway don't care anymore, because at 21 years old, one of the top thing that I feel like in my soul that I could not live with myself doing is if I just let people biasly pretend that they're right for being wrong when I know they're wrong, and then they want to bring the mention of God into it. No, God does not stand up for this. God does not stand up for that, and you're just biasly interpreting the Bible to fit your agenda and fit your wants, really. Your biased standards and more. But I'm telling you, you can throw all the dollars you want to at your kid, but if your kid does not feel emotionally supported, those dollars are going to waste. They really are. And I'm telling you, you can be the brokest, the financially brokest parent, but if your child feels like their needs are emotionally met, then I'm willing to bet you your child, through the Spirit of Almighty God, your child will probably tell you this, and I'm pretty sure some of y'all have heard this before, either in your own life or you're seeing it in a movie or a TV show. Your child will tell you that, hey, even though we didn't grow up with much, my parent is my best friend because they always emotionally supported me. They always had my back and was there for me to listen, give me advice, walk me through things, and well, yeah, pretty much that. And it was for better and for worse. If I messed up on this, I messed up on that. Sure, they'd be blunt, too much of blunt honest sometimes, but at the same time, they did it with love, integrity, and character to help you get better. And I'm telling you, that's what it is. I know I've seen those stories, heard those stories, and it's beautiful to know that you can be financially broke, but still, if you know how to emotionally support your child can come out to be one of the most positive citizens, most pure citizens out there. And that is real. That's big. That is just. That is great. But a lot of parents got it mixed up. They don't know how to do either one of those things. They don't know how to financially support, and they don't know how to emotionally support, which is why so many kids come out of whatever hood they come out of absolutely mentally screwed up about life, reality, race, of all things, school, girls, boys, you name it. They come out so brainwashed because because the parents are not raising them. Their big brothers and sisters are just as lost as they are, and they're just following the script that was already laid out to them by, you could say, they're as well biased and bogus or biased and bigoted friends or and neighbors and so on. Because when you don't have a mature state of mind to an extent to think for yourself, you're always gonna, for the most part, go along with whatever basic script that it is that is set in front of you that seems and looks cool. That's just what that is. I've been a victim to it a few times in my own life, But I can tell you, for the most part, I'm an independent thinker at 21 years old. For the last few years, I've been mostly an independent thinker, going out of my way to care about everybody, love everybody, share God's love, just be 100 and open and real with them. And that's what it takes in a lot of our schools. If you want to clean up our schools, that's one of the top things it takes. It takes being able to emotionally support kids. And that does not always mean going to a counselor, going to a therapist. It could really just simply mean as a teacher, having a basic conversation, sit down with, again, your strengths, your weaknesses, and what can I do to help? And then just supporting them by saying, believe in yourself, you're this, you're that, God loves you, you're talented, etc., and dare I say, even going into direct detail of how talented and how smart they are. Compare and contrast. It's not that hard to lend kids emotional support. Why do you think I'm so dang popular and famous? Because literally, I know how to do that. I've been doing that for years with these kids. One of the top reasons why I went back to Nice as a fifth-year senior, because I knew how to do that. And these kids responded great towards me. They love me. They care about me. I'm their big brother, role model, mentor, hero, you name it. Because I know how to support and encourage kids. It's not rocket science to do it, but you just have to want to get out of your own ego to want to do it. That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. You have to want better for yourself, better for your kids, better for your family, better for your environment, your community. You have to want better. And you have to get out of your own ego and ask God, what do you want? Have a humble heart. Ask God, what do you want for me to get out of my own head and do your will to help my family be successful? That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. And I'm telling you, when it comes to the financial support, one of the top biggest things is don't be afraid to pay for counseling if that's what it takes, counseling, therapy, whatever. Don't be afraid to pay for all those extra things if that's what it takes to better your child, better your family, better your community. Don't be afraid to take those extra steps that you know you need to take. Because trust me, being cheap will cost you in the long run. It will absolutely cost you in the long run. Dare I say, I know from personal experience. It will cost you in the long run. Because I'm telling you, you are not a successful parent just because you can, you buy whatever you want, whenever you want, and pay a few bills. That does not make you success. It's a foundation for it, but it does not make you successful in the whole bigger picture of things. And parents out there everywhere who are watching this video, you've got to learn how to emotionally support your child's mental health. If you do not learn how to do that, you will fail. You will fail. Because that's why so many kids feel ostracized, bullied, harassed, picked on, you name it. Because their emotional health is not being, their emotional health through their mental health, whatever phrase you want to use there, is not being supported by you, and it's being completely crapped on by their school staff and administration. Kids at school. That's why these kids feel so ostracized negatively and alone and deserted and like they have no friends. Parents, it's not to say you have to be your child's best friend, but you definitely have to be there for your child when they need you the most. That's what that is saying. And I think that's really common sense. Everything I said in this video, if not most of it, you can find it in like a million sermons. Tell me why you haven't found it. Tell me why you haven't put it in your own life to better you and your family. Today, you got to do something, ladies and gentlemen. You can't just keep on lying to yourself each and every day that your success based upon your biased standards and pretend that's good. That's not good. I'm telling you, emotional and mental health matters so much. But then to even put that to a bigger scale, your spiritual health is connected to your mental health, which is connected to your physical health. If you can get that under wraps, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, you are going to, everything else with how to spend your money and a few other things will come in order, naturally. You'll be able to benefit and prosper from it more fluently, more naturally than ever before. You got to get back right with Christ today and now while time is still left on this clock before you perish into oblivion, dare I say. Oblivion, which I got a new song titled Oblivion coming out soon. So I love you all. Take care. 14 minutes into this. I'm surprised my phone was able to hold this because it says 62 of 64 gigs. But I'm thankful I was able to hold this entire video, and I'm posting it eventually, and I'll get that storage back. Love you all. Take care. God bless. Again, I'm not perfect. All kids out there watching this, I'm not perfect. I just know that God ain't blessed me 21 years being an idiot. I study and I observe this culture so much, and trust me, I'm pretty sure God is vomiting right now in heaven, thinking, "Wow, this is how low everybody is has stumped." And it's because they don't have, dare I say, they don't have relationships with God. They're so immersed into their own ego, their own pride, their own rules, their own whatever. They don't get who God is, and then you could definitely say they just bought into a lot of delusional lies and fiction by the devil, and so on and so on. It's a lot to unpack there with more videos coming soon. God bless you. Borderman Angel to the City. Out. Peace.